In other words, to make it very simple, just try your best, if possible, try to practice these two methods. The practice of the sevenfold cause and effect method to generate bodhicitta, and the method of equalizing exchange of self for others, practice on a daily basis. And over time, you see that what I'm thinking and my real life, these two are, there's a discrepancy there. You can start to see that. When you see that, you don't want to stay in this gap, discrepancy between you, what the amount of spend, the time that you spend, and the real life that you time to spend in your contemplation, and the real life that you're leading. You don't want to keep this gap. How to minimize the gap is by making what you think translate into real life. So that will demand effort from your side. With effort, this is where the growth takes place. The compassion grows, and gradually you see over the span of life, it'll not happen within a span of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But whatever little the transformation that you start to feel out of a span of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, then you'll see that you can see something very different within yourself. Oh, 15 years ago, the same situation, I cannot really tolerate it. Now I can bear it, tolerate it. And not only that, and not only not having anger, but really compassion flows. So this purely, you could feel that it's purely out of your practice of these two methods. So this is so rewarding for all of us. So therefore, particularly if I don't mention this to this class, then I don't see any other people to whom to share these thoughts. So you are the ones, NMC 1, NMC 2, and you are more serious in the practice because you've been consistent, for all these many years. But NMC 1, you've been consistent for the last 8 years, and NMC 2, you've been consistent for a minimum 2 years. This is just incredibly great. I really, really appreciate it. So with this mind, just try this, and this will be, believe it or not, say for example, we talk about the practice of the preliminaries and so forth. The real preliminary is the transformation within. Your bodhicitta, your compassion should grow, your knowledge should grow, your understanding of the reality, that what I'm seeing is not reality, that should keep growing. Otherwise, all the other practices, for example, making prostrations or the mental offering and so forth, these are the factors. Like creating, for example, okay, I want to say, you are appointed as the officer in chief of this institution, and then you need a proper place to work. So what you need office. So all these offices are created, and these created is so that you can work efficiently. So these are the conditions created that your mind can work efficiently. So likewise, making prostrations, mental offering, and reciting the Shri Vaishya Sarva mantras and refuge bodhicitta. So these are all these in terms of accumulate counting the numbers, is to create a conducive factor that your mind, when you think about bodhicitta grows. When you think about wisdom emptiness grows. So actually these are the two things which require to be grown. Whereas in some cases, people are all into this, to completed the numbers given for the preliminaries, and then they are same short-tempered person, and in fact this is something a little sad. So we should not forget it. So particularly those, usually what I say is that those people who do not get the chance to study extensively, then they say going into the preliminary practices is good. But those who actually get to study this, for example, like being trained as a mechanic and trained as an engineer, mechanical engineer, or as an amateur mechanic, these two are very different. So mechanic, so become engineer is the one who is the brain. Mechanics like the hands. It's very different. So likewise, I say the study meditation and the contemplation meditation, Bodhicitta, emptiness, these are the brain engineering, and other parts like mantra recitations, presentations, so forth. These are like the creating the conditions. They are important. We're not going to neglect them. We're not neglect them. But don't forget what is the main. Don't forget this. Those people who did not get the chance to meet with this kind of the study programs, Nalanda study programs, and then for them, I would say that whatever chance that you get, make the most of that thing. But those who do get the chance to this, and then sometimes okay, I'll just the little bit digression, then I'll jump to the text. What happened was that once there was there was one author, and the author was writing a book on His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and the author was must be asking His Holiness's the younger brother. She got the chance to meet with the younger brother of His Holiness and asked if you can recommend some names who can give me more information about His Holiness's the biography. And just tell me, you are in the ocean and you are asking where can I get the water. You are with His Holiness brother. He is the best person who can give you the biggest of the information, greatest of information. And then he cannot say that I'm the one. He will not say that. He said, go to Tibet House, you in Delhi, go to Tibet House, Geshe Dorji Damdul. So that author came to me and said, and she was so nice and the religion. And then I got a sense that she already had contact with His Holiness's younger brother. And then she was asking if I have some information about His Holiness's background and so forth. Then I told him, who sent you to me? Because I got the sense that she already had contact with all these big people. I told her, who sent you to me? And she said that His Holiness's younger brother said you can go to Tibet House, Geshe Dorji Damdul. And for what? To get information. I told him that you came from the ocean and you jumped into the pond. You are jumping into the pond to look for the blue whales. You are jumping into the ponds. And he will never say that I'm the ocean. He will never say this. And you ask the wrong question. Please recommend some names, which means that you are not. This wrong question. There's nothing greater the ocean than him who can provide you the best of the information about His Holiness's biography. I told her that you came to the wrong place. You jump. You ask the ocean, where's the ocean? And then the ocean will show you a pond. And you jump into the pond thinking that this is ocean. This is where you're going wrong. This is what I said. So likewise, what I would say is that what we really need to be aware of, the real ocean for us is to be aware of yourself. To be aware of what are your mistakes. What are your demerits? What are your weaknesses? Identify these. This is the greatest of the ocean. And then try to fix them. Try to fix them in your own capacity. Not that simply because you are NMC, you expect to be 100% perfect this year. No. After completion of this, then you should be perfected. No. Try your best. Identify who you are. And as long as there's a progress happening, if you're 20% good, 80% bad, so progress happens 21%, 20 to 21%. That's amazing. As long as there's a progress, this is very important. So the first mark of progress is that you acknowledge your mistakes. You acknowledge your shortcomings. That's the first mark of your progress. This is so important. And all should hover around being compassionate towards others. Try your best in whatever little way you can be of compassion to others. Try your best. And not only that you do it, you also inspire other people to be compassionate.